Tonight, Eyewitness News investigates a spike in shootings in Fresno this year and why only 13% of those shootings have ended in an arrest.
That means that about 9 out of 10 shootings the gunman is never caught. CBS 47's investigative reporter Kara Rucker joins us live in the studio with more. Kara.
Right, tonight you'll hear from top officials in our justice system as they explain why Fresno is seeing an alarming amount of shootings and why such an alarming amount of them are going unsolved. COVID causing a perfect storm for disaster in the justice system, and the numbers proved it. In 2020, when the pandemic began, a disturbing trend began to emerge. 2 out of every 3 murders went unsolved.
We're still feeling the effects of COVID and the defunding movement and just so many other drivers of violent crime. Plus, in California, it's difficult to do that. It's difficult to drive violent crime down.
Continuing into 2021, the department now struggling to put away criminals responsible for the record number of shootings this year in Fresno. 580 shootings, 68 arrests. And with those startling numbers, nearly 9 out of every 10 shootings remain unresolved.
And that number is dismal because what that tells you is people are recklessly shooting. The numbers are so high.
The challenge is trying to do so much with such few resources. That is the biggest challenge. So internally, that's my struggle. The fact that I'm the leader of a police department that has about 700 police officers coming to work, and it should have 1,000.
But not all the news is bad. Though the rate of unsolved shootings is very high for the year, most homicides are being solved in 2021, improving from 35% of murders in 2020 to now more than 70% solved this year.
Solving crime is a very high priority. Solving violent crime also, because you're identifying people who are committing violent crime and you're taking them off the streets.
Meanwhile, the police chief and DA say added resources will be needed because of a recent flood of illegal guns on our streets. Smith-Camp says it can be traced back to the EDD fraud disaster in California.
There's a lot of our investigations that have led us to believe that the fraudulent EDD money and some of the stimulus money that people received were the catalyst to allowing many people, many unsavory people and many criminals to purchase guns.
Billions of dollars of unemployment money funneled through our jail and prison systems since the pandemic.
And they in turn purchase guns, and there we see the result of that, which is just such a tremendous increase in the number of shootings that we've had here in Fresno.
Smith-Camp says it will take a community to lower crime and solve crime to ultimately create a safer Fresno.
And so we have to sort of watch each other and be each other's keeper, to communicate with each other and participate with law enforcement. And that, that's how we will create a better community, a safer community, is by saying enough is enough.
Smith-Camp says witness cooperation in crimes is vital to solving them. She wants to remind you there are several safe avenues to report crimes or give witness testimony, including anonymous tips to the police or even using Crime Stoppers.
And Kara, you have a pie graph that breaks down these cases, and almost half of them are suspended. What does that mean?
Yeah, that's 41% of the 580 shootings that we have. What that means is the police department, they do not have any new leads, they do not have any new information, so these cases are to the side. And that goes back to the DA's point as far as the community's participation. So if you know something, if you see something, that's where they're like, we really need the community's help. And that's 41%. Almost half the cases are just suspended.